Good morning, Stampers. Thanks for joining me while I share the 12 Dies of Christmas kits in the mail for December 2021. This is the first design that I did and filmed, so let's get started. You'll look for your kit that's got the Cajun Craze base, so pull it out and see what you got. And while you're pulling out your card kit, you'll also want to grab your beautiful autumn stamp set, your coordinating punch pack, the Celebration Tidings stamp set, and also the Celebration Labels dies. I am using the largest die in this set today. And you'll notice that the largest die does not fit the 6x6 pattern paper. It's just a little bit too large. So I opted just to cut 1/2 out and use that on my card front. And there's that right there. Okay, so you've got your stuff assembled. So let's get started. I processed through the Midnight Muse pattern paper with the Tasteful Textures 3D die. So you might want to add a little bit of texture to your Midnight Muse piece as well. And I've got my Stampin' Seal. So I will just assemble this. One less thing to be hanging out on my table here. And that I placed all the way to the edge of the card base to the spine. Okay, now I'm not going to adhere anything else because if you look at the card, we've got our greeting, and I custom cut the greeting around that corner of the die cut. So let's get to some stamping. And let's start with that greeting first of all. So I've got the Cajun Craze ink pad, and I have some things right there. Mounted the Always Grateful on a block D. And then I've given you a length. So just stamp it in the middle and then cut it off as needed. And try to get it straight on your paper. If not, you've got two sides to your paper. You can always flip it over. That looks pretty good to me. So I'm done with that stamp. And as long as I've got this in my hand, let's attach this. I'm just going to put some adhesive over where I stamped. I don't want it all the way on either side. That way I don't get ink or glue on my scissors when I custom cut it off. So I'm just eyeballing it, making sure that it's straight on the pattern paper. And then flip it over and cut around that corner and cut off that edge right there. All right, so get those pattern pieces out of the way. So that's one piece. So let's adhere that down on our card base as well. I'm doing 3 strips of adhesive because now this Midnight Muse piece is a little textured. That way we've got a little more adhesive on there. Okay, and you'll notice the edge here is different than the edge on the card. So you've got 2 different looks. You can have the angle go up, or you can have it go up and go down. So if you want a custom cut off to make the angle go up, make sure you attach that to your blue, your Midnight Muse, before you attach the Midnight Muse to your Cajun Craze. Okay, so now let's do some stamping. Bring the sample back in here. Got the inside to stamp. So what I liked about this stamp set, the Celebration Tidings, was that it was multi-holiday. So one for fall, one for Halloween, one just for you, and one for Christmas. So I can use it for a couple of seasons. Then this was going to go on the top, but flip it over so that it's hanging down like a swag on a shelf. Okay. Next stamping, grab your scraps. So I probably put a 1/6 of a piece of 8.5 by 11 Whisper White or Very Vanilla in your kit. So I'm just using scraps today. And I did Cajun Craze Maple Leaves. So, and I did 3 of those. So full strength, maybe full strength over there. And I need 1 more. Okay, and then we've got our solid image. And that you're going to stamp off and then center over your maple leaf. Stamp off and center, stamp off and center. There we go. All right, I'm done with the Cajun Craze ink pad. So now we'll get the crushed curry out. And I need 3 of the oak leaves. So the oak leaves I can do down here. 1, 2, oh, that one didn't quite. I could go over that since it's photopolymer, but I'm not gonna. Since I'm on camera, I don't think I could get it quite straight. So stamp off, and then this just fills in the leaf. And it doesn't have to be directly over the leaf outline. It can be off-centered too for a watercolor look. Okay, done with crushed curry ink pad. So then you can pull in your punches from the Autumn Punch Pack. And try not to let those go on the floor. Maybe angle them that way they go to the table and not the floor. Okay, and then the maple leaf. And the third punch in this punch pack is an acorn, and I did not use the acorn on this card. Okay, and then this one, just cut around if you're using scraps instead of the piece that I included in your kit. There we go. Okay. So that I can throw in the trash, and now I gotta find all my leaves. So let's get the mat out of the way. I'm done with that. I popped up 2 oak leaves and 1 maple leaf using our mini dimensionals. And then the 3 down there I had flush against the paper. Most likely using a glue dot. And there should be one more. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So let's bring it up back our card. And start taking off the backer sheets. You can pop up all 6 if you'd like. These mini dimensionals are the perfect size for these punch shapes. Making sure those backer sheets get in the trash. All right, so I've got kind of like a spray. 2 oak leaves and then 1 maple leaf pointing up. And the bottom, I've got 2 maple leaves pointing down, kind of opposite, like in a V. And then an oak leaf pointing up. And then we'll need to attach the inside of the card. There we go. So last is find your strips of ribbon that I gave you. So one is the crushed curry seam binding and one is the embroidered. I think it is just called embroidered. Oh, that's a crinkled seam. The embroidered ribbon from the August to December catalog. So I'm just cutting some snips off my roll. But yours are already cut. So the crushed curry seam binding is a little longer than the embroidered. And then I also gave you some linen thread. So here's how the linen thread comes on a spool. And what I did was I gave you plenty so you could have some to work with. Tied the linen thread around, and I just had a little bit of linen thread on the ends after you make a knot, just for a little bit of extra texture. So you just make a knot, and I'm pretty sure I did a double knot because it's linen, it probably would stay, but that crinkled seam binding is a little slippery. There. Double knot looks good. And then just cut off your tail about the same length as the other side. There we go. So I got a little longer length on each side than my sample. My sample's got a smaller length. I like them both. You create tails as long as you'd like with the linen thread that I provided you. So we just put that right there. So this card, your eye starts there, goes to the verse, looks at the bow, comes to the spray down there and opens up, and there's your greeting card. So I hope you liked the first video I did for the 12 Dies of Christmas. This is my December kits in the mail for 2021. So look for my 11 other videos to see which other 12 dies I used. And I'll pull them back in. Actually, I'll go and look in the, I'll show you in the catalogs, the August to December mini catalog. Here is the Gilded Autumn Suite. Oh, and I had an acorn here. I was going to, where are my cards? I was going to see if I could attach one to my linen thread, because I want to include one in your kit. So if I did include it in your kit, and I'm going to attach it right there over your ribbon. Hang on. Even though I double knotted this, let's see if I can unknot it. I didn't pull it quite tight this morning. There. So tie one knot and then thread through your acorn. And tie a second knot. Ooh, I really like that. I love these copper acorns this year. Ooh, look at that. Like it. So there's the amped up version, and here's my original design. I like the amped up version with the acorn right there. Okay. Oh, I was going through a catalog tour. So here's the Gilded Autumn Suite. Sorry, I just made sure that I was recording. I just had a thought that maybe I didn't press record before I started. And then here is the beautiful autumn stamp set and coordinating autumn punch pack. And then the feature dies in this video are the Celebration Tidings bundle. So from the Plaid Tidings suite, here's where the embroidered ribbon, page 57, that's where the embroidered ribbon came from. And then page 58, here is the die set, and then the coordinating stamp set. And if you buy them both for using the bundle item number 155201, you get 10% off both items. So if you order individually with the individual items, you don't get the 10% off. Okay, thanks for watching. This is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley. Like I said, I'll look for the other 12 dies of Christmas assembly videos, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.